Hey, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video where today we're actually going to be looking at the 1.13 features because it is actually supposed to be coming out today. 1.13 is getting released this day, Wednesday, July 18th, and yeah, I'm super excited because this update has literally been in the works for like the last 9 months or so. It's literally just been there over our shoulders the whole time, but yeah, so we're going to be quickly going through all of these features here and doing a quick recap of what actually comes in the update, so let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be taking a look at is all of the new blocks are added. So they added a bunch of new decoration blocks into the game, which was part of the first update actually, the first snapshot that came out. So over here we've got like the pumpkin, and then there's the uncarved pumpkin, as you could say. So like this is literally called the pumpkin, and this one is now called the carved pumpkin. So they changed it up a bit. So this used to be just the pumpkin, and now it's called the carved pumpkin, and this one is just a pumpkin on its own. So I believe to actually shear these, or to carve these, you need a shears, I believe, and you right click maybe? Yes. And then you get some pumpkin seeds back when you do that. So that's a really cool feature. I really like that. I've seen some mods do that actually before, but now it's in vanilla, so that's really cool. Now this over here is blue packed ice, or just blue ice I guess you can call it, and it basically makes it so that you go even faster than you would on packed ice, because if you didn't know, in Minecraft if you run on packed ice you go super fast. So if we just throw down a bunch of this here, you can see that we will go pretty fast, but if we go on the blue ice you go even faster, so it's actually pretty insane, honestly. So put in blue ice, you go even faster. So like ice makes you go faster, packed ice makes you go really fast, but then blue ice makes you go like the fastest possible, honestly. And if you go on a with a boat, we can grab a boat here for a second. If you grab a boat and go on blue ice, you go like 10,000 miles an hour. I'm not even kidding. It goes so unbelievably fast. It is pretty crazy actually. But yeah, that's the blue ice. It's really cool, really nifty feature. And you can actually craft it using we got a crafting table here real quick. You can craft it using packed ice. So if we grab some packed ice here, actually I think it's a full grid. Yep, if you grab 9 packed ice, you can actually make yourself some blue ice. So that's pretty cool too. And there's a bunch of other decoration blocks that are added. So we got the grass path over here, which you can see in villages, and if you right click the dirt, like the grass, normal grass, with a shovel, let's just grab a gold shovel, you look at this, but now it's actually in the creative inventory as well, which is really cool. And this was farmland, but it kind of disappeared. I'll grab a new one. But as you can see in the creative inventory, there is now, if I can find it, where is it exactly? Okay, I'll just do a quick search. Farmland, here we go. So when you place it down, it'll actually look the same as if you hoe the ground yourself. So that's in the creative inventory now. And we also have the mushroom blocks, which come from mushroom biomes, or mushroom biomes, whatever you want to call them. But basically, yeah, these are actual blocks in the creative inventory now. If we can find them here, if we can, for a second, hold on. They're actually available for us to select in the creative inventory. They're right there. So that is really cool. And there's also new stuff for Prismarine, which comes in the Ocean Guardian temples and stuff like that. So yeah, we've also got the Prismarine, Dark Prismarine stairs, regular Prismarine stairs, and the Prismarine brick stairs, sorry. And there's also slab variants of each one, which is really cool. So some more decoration blocks, which is always a good thing to have in Minecraft. And in this update, there was also added a bunch of new wood textures and stuff like that. So these are all part of kind of the texture update part of 1.13 that was supposed to be released. The texture update is going to be held back a bit longer, I think, because he's still working on the textures, the guy working on them. So we've also got like the stripped versions of each of the like oak logs and stuff like that. So it's really cool actually. So to actually strip a log in Minecraft, you have to use an axe now. So if we grab a regular oak log, for example, or yeah, if we grab a regular oak log and we right click it with an axe, it will strip, and then you lose some durability from the axe. So that's a really cool feature actually. And they also, like, every type of wood has its own stripped version, of course. And there's also new kind of like wood variants of trapdoors, and there's also new wood variants of pressure plates, and the same with buttons. Now there's also a new thing actually added. It's called bark. Well, it was called bark, and they actually called it like just wood in the end. So this is now oak wood. This, what you see over here, is oak wood, and then the ones without the like bit at the top. So like, look at the difference here for a second. If I can get it right. Okay, I can. Let's just build up. Okay, so as you can see, this part has like an exposed part at the top. This is like the stripped part at the top of an oak log, of a normal oak tree you would see, like that one over there. But this one is actually just oak wood. This is oak wood now, and this is an oak wood log. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. They added, like, it was originally called bark in the update, but they changed it to just oak wood, and now this is an oak wood log. So these all have their own types of oak wood log and oak wood. So it's kind of an interesting change, but I guess it makes sense, I guess. And there's also a strip variant of each of these too, so that's kind of cool, I guess. And there are also a bunch of different types of food in this update. We have raw cod, raw salmon, cooked salmon, tropical fish, and pufferfish. Now I know what you're thinking, and yes, these are the same types of food that were actually in 1.12 and below that basically, but now they all have different textures and they look really, really nice. And you can actually get them very easily in a survival world now. You don't have to actually fish for them. You can actually go get the mob, and I'll show you that part later, where you can actually get the physical mob and then use that as your food source. And there's also dried kelp, which can be cooked from regular kelp, which, as you can see over there. And once you cook that, you'll get yourself some dried kelp, and it refills like it eats really fast. Actually, it's one of the fastest eating things in Minecraft. So if we go into survival here for a second, and if we give ourselves hunger, and they'll give us a bunch of saturation loss, and then if we eat this, it'll actually eat super fast. As you can see, it ate it like in no time at all, so it's actually the fastest eating food in Minecraft now, but it doesn't refill that much, it's the only thing, so it's kind of balanced actually. Let's go back into creative here. So yeah, those are all the food types in Minecraft now, and there's also the dried kelp block over here, which I meant to put the crafting recipe in here, but basically it just takes what's it called, 9, I think it's either 4 or 9, let me check, hold 1 second here. So if we grab this and give me a crafting table, and you can actually craft the dried kelp block, and it's just basically a way to store your food, I guess, at the end of the day. Yeah, so you just put 9 of those in a crafting grid and it'll give you a dried kelp block, and it's kind of cool for decoration, I guess. You could make it look like a present or something for an adventure map or something like that. I don't know, up to you. But yeah, so moving on, we also have new, as you can see over here, there's a lot of new stuff in the ocean. So the main thing you can see here is kelp and seagrass, and these are both over here. And this is how they both start out when they first start growing. I'll get to this potion effect in just a second. But yeah, so literally this is how they start out, and they will eventually grow to these sizes, but they will never pass up past the ocean surface like this. So like I have these at the top, the very top layer right now, so they will never grow past this. But these ones over here kept growing, of course, and they started off like this, and then eventually grew all the way up until they hit the top, and they can't grow anymore now. And another new type of underwater plant that you can find in the oceans now are sea pickles, and they're pretty rare to find actually in survival, not gonna lie. They don't really spawn that often, but they are very, very cool. So basically, there's a new thing in Minecraft that you can kind of stack different types of objects into the same block space, which is really cool. You can do the same with like turtle eggs and stuff. So as you can see, when I put on more, the light will get brighter and brighter. So these actually produce a light source, which is really, really cool. So if I actually press F3 for a second, you can see, okay, so if we go over here, for example, and as you can see, the light level, if you look on the left side of the screen over here, the light, it says 0. If we put down one sea pickle, it'll say light level 4. Put down another one, it'll say light level 7. Another one will say light level 10. And the final one will say 13. But it's actually 14, but I'm just not like properly, there we go. It says 14. So each one will add like, I think 4, 6 or something, I don't know. But yeah, they all add a different light level, and if you have 4, it's basically the max light level, and that is the maximum amount of light you can get from a sea pickle. So that's really, really cool too. And there's also new coral blocks basically, and all of these will generate naturally, but they are quite rare to find. I've noticed coral is quite rare to find underwater, but it does spawn naturally, don't worry. You can find it, of course. But yeah, so there's 3 different types of each color. So there's this one's the brain coral, and this one is the bubble coral, this one is the fire coral, this one is the tube coral, and this one is the horn coral. So yeah, this one has coral fans over here. They all have coral fans, what am I saying? They all have coral fans which can generate on each coral block, which can be found in the ocean. And they'll also have these things, which are just like the coral. This one is a coral block, like as you can see it says coral block. This one is just called coral. These are called coral, and these are coral blocks. So it's kind of confusing with the names and stuff, because they have like different categories in the new update and stuff, but yeah, you can understand it at some stage. So yeah, these all have like their own variants. There's 3 different types of coral, I guess you can say, and there's 5 different colors in total, so that's really, really cool too. And with the coral, there's also the dead variants. You got the coral fans that are on top of the dead variants here, and basically the coral fans will dry out eventually. They don't dry out straight away actually, so if I grab a coral fan here and place it on top of these, they will not actually dry out straight away, but they will over, yes, there you go. They will go straight like a few seconds basically. They won't last very long in the air, so they want to be kept in the water, like all coral blocks. Or else if they get put in the on the land or whatever, in the air basically, they will dry out, and they'll end up like these coral blocks, the dead coral over here, which all has its own different variants of the same colors as these. So yeah, that's pretty cool too. Now anyway, moving on to the water physics. So one major thing you'll notice in the new Minecraft update is you can actually swim. Yes, finally swimming is now an option in Minecraft. As you can see, when you hold down control, you will start to swim. If you just press control actually in the water and press W forward, you will start to swim. If you stop, you will start going like this again, and if you press W, you just move like this. But if you press control to sprint, whoops, sorry. If you press control to sprint, you will actually move like this. And a really, really cool thing is that actually you can kind of go through one by one holes. So if we got like a little trying to, oh my god, sand, why you gotta be like this? Okay, I'm trying to find a space where I can actually like do, let's just build our own thing. Let's just build our own tunnel, okay? Because freaking sand just has to be so rude about it. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and I'm pretty sure at the start they made it so that you couldn't, well no, you could do it at the start. You could do like the swimmy thing where you can go through a one by one space, but then they removed that feature later, and then they added it back again. So they were kind of indecisive about that, but yeah, eventually they decided to keep it in. So I'm glad they did, actually. It's a really cool feature. So if we press control, I'm actually flying right now, oops. If we press control, we're now in swim mode, and we can actually go through this one by one hole, which is kind of crazy. So you can swim through little tiny gaps in 1.13, and I don't know how that's going to work on servers, because on servers, everyone will be on like 1.12 and stuff, and they won't be able to go through blocks that are one by one, but you will be. So I'm kind of curious to see how server managers are going to actually be able to manage that. That's going to be kind of crazy, but yeah, that is a pretty cool water mechanic. And there's also a new thing you'll notice over here. If I drop an item, it will float straight up to the surface. So that's a new thing. Yeah, items just kind of float whenever you drop them. I guess it's pretty cool, I guess. So yeah. And there's also these things over here. Now, magma blocks will drag you down if they're underwater. They'll create like bubble columns, and they will drag you down. And the opposite happens with soul sand. Soul sand will actually launch you upwards. So if we walk over this soul sand here, as you can see, it's pushing me straight up, and I can't go back down. I'm literally getting boosted straight up with the bubble column. But if I walk over the magma block, and yeah, it'll put me straight down. No matter where I am, it'll put me straight down. So if I press spacebar and kind of like swim over this, it'll still pull me down. I'm trying to fight it right now, but it's still pulling me down. And I'm pressing spacebar right now, and I can't swim up. You can listen. It's not actually going up. I can only fly up in creative mode. But in survival, you can't move, and it will actually damage you, because magma blocks do damage you. So they are quite deadly, to be honest. And they'll also break your boat, I believe, if you are in a boat sailing over them. So if we grab a boat here for a second. The really cool thing with the soul sand ones is, though, if you go over it in a boat, it'll actually boost you up. So it'll like kind of rock your boat a bit, which is really cool. I love that feature so much. And if we go over the magma here, the magma will actually drag you down. So yeah, you might want to be careful about that. It'll just like take you out of your boat, and it'll just drag your boat to the bottom of the ocean floor. So do be careful about that. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, moving on. We have the new structures that were added to this update. So we have the ocean ruin and the shipwreck. There's also a buried treasure structure, but I'll get to that just after the shipwreck. So yeah, the first I'm going to grab some night vision, actually, because we're going to need it for this. So we're going to go to the ocean ruin first. And if we go down here, oh, there's some new mobs. Okay, I'll show you those just in a sec. Wait, are they? Yeah, okay. Okay, anyway, moving on. So yeah. This is an ocean ruin right here. These all come in so many different types. There's so many different types of ocean ruins, you can't possibly count them all. There's like, oh my god, there's so many different variants. But anyway, these will have, I don't have enough night vision, what the heck. Okay, we better hurry then. So yeah, basically these will actually have loot in them, and they'll be guarded by the drowned, which are the new mobs. And oh my god, it's so dark now. I'm just gonna stand beside this here. And but yeah, these structures will basically have loot in them, and they can have like buried treasure maps on occasion. And the buried treasure maps will actually lead you to buried treasure. So if we go back into the other place, we can now go to the shipwreck. And in the shipwreck, there are usually, oh my god, my stuff is all here from earlier. Oh god. Okay, where's the there it is. Okay, hope you guys can see this. Let me give myself some night vision. Actually, give it to myself for a longer time, because it's gonna run out very fast. Okay, so anyway, this is the treasure ship here, or one of the buried, or the shipwreck, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so this one's actually upside down, I just realized. And they can come in so many different types. They come in all different kinds of wood types and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty crazy, to be honest. They usually come with 2 to 3 chests. I actually broke the one over here on this one. So come on, give myself more night vision. Why? Okay, anyway, it's gonna go dark for a second, but yeah, in this chest there was actually this buried treasure map. So if we actually look on the buried treasure map, you can see there's an X marks the dot, or X marks the spot, sorry, and there's actually the white dot. This white dot over here is us, and we can actually, so basically on the treasure map we are in the southeast. So if we go northwest, which is the opposite direction to where we are on the treasure map, we will actually get towards the X marks the spot and the treasure map itself. So we can actually go there right now and check out some of the loot. And here we are. Okay, so now we are at the buried treasure. I already dug this up earlier. So if we look in here, you can see there's a bunch of really cool loot. There's a bunch of iron, some emeralds, and a good sword. Some fish and some fish and stuff. And there's also a heart of the sea. Now the heart of the sea I'll get to later in this video, because there's actually a very special feature which you need to use the heart of the sea with. Okay, and there's also a bunch of new biomes in this. They're all ocean biomes, of course, but yeah, they're worth mentioning nonetheless. So the biomes we have are the warm ocean, the lukewarm ocean, the cold ocean, the deep warm ocean, the deep lukewarm ocean, the frozen ocean, the deep frozen ocean, the deep cold ocean. So yeah, there's a bunch of ocean variants. Like it's pretty crazy, honestly. But yeah, those are all the ocean biomes, and this one right over here happens to be we go a bit further, an ocean. This is a regular ocean. This is a standard ocean, the ocean biome. So yeah, those are like a bunch of variants and stuff. They're pretty cool, honestly. So anyway, moving on, we've got like the weapons and stuff here. So this is the trident, and the trident is probably my favorite feature, honestly. It's probably my favorite feature because I just love the trident so much. It's so cool. There's also 4 enchantments you can use with the trident. So we have channeling, we have riptide, we have impaling, and we have loyalty. Channeling will let you harness the power of lightning when either it's raining. Well, actually, yeah, it has to be thundery rain, and then you can actually like throw your trident, and it will cause lightning to strike wherever you strike. So it's really, really cool, honestly. If you strike, let's say, a zombie with the trident while it's lightning, if you like throw the trident and it hits the zombie, it will strike that zombie with lightning. So that's really, really cool. And riptide will make it so that you can kind of like do a bunch of cool tricks underwater. I'll show you all these in just a second. And impaling will make it so that it goes through multiple mobs, I believe. So it's actually a very, very cool feature. And loyalty will make it so the trident actually returns to you when you throw it. So some of these aren't compatible with each other. Like for example, riptide and loyalty aren't. I don't think channeling and loyalty are either. Maybe, I'm not sure. But we can test them out anyway and see what happens. Okay, so the first one we're going to test out, of course, is channeling. So if we actually set the weather to thunder, it'll start to rain, and there'll be lightning striking. So it has to be thundery rain. It can't be regular rain. Regular rain will not work, I'm afraid, because it has to be thunder, because that's like the ocean gods thing, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so if we throw this trident now, wherever it strikes, so as you can see, it's really, really cool model. Whenever you throw it, it's really, really nifty. It's got like this really cool 3D effect thing. And yeah, so if we actually strike this spider with it while it's thundery weather, lightning will strike down, and it is very, very cool. So yeah, and the trident, of course, also does 9 attack damage. So yes, it is very, very good. It's a very good weapon, and it's also the fastest attacking weapon in the game. So as you can see, the attack speed on a sword is 1.6, which is the fastest before 1.13. But this is a 1.1, so it's like instant basically. There's like no cooldown whatsoever. So we can actually just keep going like wah 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 wah, and he will just like get annihilated basically. So yeah. Okay, so as you can see, this trident has Riptide 3, and because it's also raining right now, we can also right click and we'll actually launch it into the air still. So basically, if it's raining, all these effects work too. So if we actually right click now, you can actually, oh, look how cool that is. Look how cool that is. And it'll also work, of course, in the ocean, even if it's not raining. So if we actually go down here and right click, and you can time it super well. So if you just keep like pressing it, like right click, right click, right click, right click, right click, like as best you can time it, you can keep swimming basically with the whole Riptide effect. So you can keep going like this all day long if you can time it properly, and you can also launch out of the water like this, and it's super, super cool. It's just such a cool effect. I love it. And the only thing is, Riptide is not compatible with channeling, so if you are getting a trident in survival, be careful. So once you decide on which one you want, you can't get both, so do be careful when you're making that decision. And the next one we have got here is impaling. So we got impaling, or wait, wait. Okay, no, it's loyalty. That's loyalty. Okay, so basically, when you throw the trident with loyalty, it will come back to you, and the higher the loyalty level, the faster it'll come back basically. So if you have loyalty 1, it'll be pretty slow by coming back, but let's say if we hit this guy, it'll come back like instantly because it's right in front of us. But if we throw it over there, it'll take a bit longer to get back, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty loyalty, yeah. Okay, I was wrong about impaling. You're actually supposed to use it on sea creatures apparently. So if we get, for example, I don't know, what's a sea creature? A squid. Let's get a squid, and if we throw the trident at him, impaling should do more damage to him. And oh my god, that was a one shot. Holy crap. Another thing with squids actually, so when you hit a squid, it'll actually leave ink behind, and it'll just like launch basically. As soon as you hit it, it'll just go away, and it'll be scared of you. So the squids are actually more intelligent now, which is kind of a good thing, because they were kind of really derpy and stupid looking before. But anyway, so we're gonna get rid of all these guys, and we're gonna go on to the next thing. Okay, so the next feature we're going to be taking a look at is, oh my god, I almost just died. The turtle shell helmet, which also gives you water breathing and night vision. Well, kind of water vision type thing. It's crafted using 5 scoots, and I'll show you how to get scoots in just a bit. So if we throw this on here for a second, you can see we get water breathing, which for infinite, it says 10 seconds, but it's actually infinite. So wait, I think it is at least. If we go down here, no, it's only for as long as you're in the water. Ah, I see. Okay, so if we go into game mode, survival, So it gives you 10 extra seconds of water breathing while you're actually in the water. So it's really, really good actually. And it also lets you see on the water, which is really, really good again. So if we go back up here, we can check out the rest of the things. So these two are arrows of slow falling, and to get these, you're actually going to need a potion of slow falling, which is got using a phantom membrane. And these are dropped by the Phantom, the new mob B, which was voted at Minecon, and I'll show you just that in a second. But basically, those things drop these, and then you can brew these potions of slow falling in a brewing stand. And they can also be used to repair a light shot, which is really interesting. So yeah, you basically like put an awkward potion in with the phantom membrane, and it'll give you the what's it called, a potion of slow falling, and then you can make the tipped arrows of slow falling, which is really, really cool. And to get these scoots over here, we're actually going to get to that in just a second, but yeah, so to get the potion of the Turtle Master, which is another new potion, there's 2 new potions in this update, and to get the potion of the Turtle Master, you will need the turtle shell helmet, which is crafted using the 5 scoots again, and you literally put it into the brewing stand with an awkward potion, and you brew those, and then I'll give you the potion of the Turtle Master, which gives you slowness 4 and resistance 3, or if you make it stronger, it can give you slowness 6 and resistance 4, so you're basically like indestructible when you have this on, which is really, really cool. And it also comes in the splash potion, the lingering potion, and the regular potion, just like all the other ones. So it is really, really nifty. But at long last, we're moving on to the mobs of this update. So we've got this dolphin spawn egg, the drowned spawn egg, the phantom spawn egg, the pufferfish, salmon, tropical fish, cod spawn eggs, and the turtle spawn egg. Now, I'm going to show you these in a bit more detail. So over here, we've got the tropical fish, which can spawn in so many different... Oh, I was supposed to be creative for that. Oops. Creative. There we go. We got his spawn egg back. Come here, buddy. So these will literally come in so many different colors and shapes, you don't even want to try to count how many there are. There's over 1 million, I think, or something like that, something crazy. But basically, there's a lot, okay, let's just say that much. So you're never going to run out of different types of fish to collect, which is really, really cool. There's also the salmon, the pufferfish, and the... Oh, there he is. So if you get near the pufferfish, he will actually... Okay, it didn't work, I guess. Used to be in survival, I think. But basically, this is the pufferfish, but when you get close to him in survival, I guess. Let's go into survival. Oh my god, I hate the new thing. Oh, it's so annoying. Okay. So if you get close to this guy, he will puff up, and if you get too close, he will also affect you with poison. As you can see, I got poisoned for a few seconds when I got near him because he's got those things in real life, so that's really, really cool. And yeah, the salmon and the cod are also new fish mobs. So basically, you can catch these guys, and yeah, you can just kind of like cook them up and whatever you want to do. So you can also fish like you used to be able to with the fishing rod right here. You can do normal fishing like that, or you can literally just go into the ocean and catch the mob for yourself by beating it up basically and eating it like a tasty fish. You can go like that, and you also get a fish back too, and you can cook those and get yourself some nice cooked fish. So yeah, these are all the fish mobs, I guess, and we can put those back. And yeah, moving on. We've got the turtle, and the turtle was actually the first mob, I believe, who was introduced into 1.13, or one of the first at least. And this guy is really, really friendly and nice. He's really cool. Look at him. Why would you ever want to hurt a turtle, honestly? I don't know. But basically, if we spawn in a baby turtle here, as you can see, this little guy will just kind of swim around like they follow the adult a bit. And yeah, when this guy grows up, he will actually shed the scoot, which I was talking about earlier. So if we grab the scoot, if I can find it, there it is. He will actually shed this. He'll just drop it as an item when he grows up into an adult turtle, and he kind of like outgrows his shell. So this is actually a baby turtle shell, is what this really is. They call it a scoot though. So yeah. That's what that is, and if you make 5 of these, you can make yourself the turtle shell helmet, and it's really, really good, so I would highly recommend you do. So you don't have to hurt any turtles in this mod, basically, is the concept. You don't have to hurt any turtles at all. Don't hurt the turtles, please. For the love of God, don't hurt the turtles. That is the turtle, and we're going to move on to the other passive mob in this mod, which is the dolphin. And the dolphin is really, really cool and friendly, and you'll also be given Dolphin's Grace when you feed it fish, I believe. So if we give it some raw salmon here for a second, we can give him some of this, and as you can see, he's getting some particles around him because he likes it. And yes, so when they're happy, basically, they'll give you something called Dolphin's Grace, and it'll give you like extra speed in the water and stuff like that. It's kind of like Depth Strider, I think. It's really cool. But basically, when you feed these guys and they like you, they will also lead you to treasure, and they can do some really cool tricks and stuff in the water too. So if we get some like items and stuff, if that'll float back, look, he goes down for it, then he's gonna push it up with his nose and stuff. It's really cool. So if we grab some food here for him for a second, let's get some raw cod and just kind of like scatter it on the surface here for a second. If we throw all this down here, he will just kind of like jump around and like hit it with his nose and stuff. So yeah, he just kind of grabs it and just kind of like messes it around with it. It's really cool. He will eat the raw cod actually, but he won't eat like other items and stuff. He won't eat the cod, I believe. So if we drop like apples and stuff, he won't actually eat that. But yeah, he's really cool and friendly. I love the dolphin. He's a really cool guy. So if we just kind of like toss those around there. He should play with them for a while. So yeah, that's the dolphin pretty much. He does a bunch of cool tricks. They're pretty crazy guys. But anyway, moving on. Those are the two passive mobs of the mod. Or not the mod, god, I'm so used to doing mod showcase, I'm so sorry. The passive mobs of the update. So anyway, moving on here, we've got the Phantom and the Drowned. The Drowned is the new water zombie. So basically, when a zombie drowns underwater, they will turn into the Drowned. And the Drowned, it's just kind of aggressive. It swims very fast. And they can often spawn with a trident, I believe. He didn't pick it up though. They can spawn with a trident, so that's one of the way to get the actual trident in a survival world is by killing a drowned with the trident. So yeah, they'll often be guarding the ocean ruins too, and the buried treasure ships and shipwrecks and stuff like that. So yeah, be on the eye for these guys because they are quite fast in the water. Well, they're not really fast, but they are quite fast. You know what I mean? So zombies actually like they basically sink underwater and they will like drown and turn into these guys. But these guys can actually swim properly. So if we're going to actually survival here, I'm going to show you these guys real quick. So yeah, he will swim properly. Look at this guy, he's crazy. He will actually like properly swim after you, and if he has a trident, he can throw it at you too. So they're quite aggressive, honestly. So I'm going to throw this at this guy. Yeah, be gone, demon. So yeah, it's because this has impaling, right? Yeah, impaling does extra damage to water mobs, so he actually took more damage from that too. So anyway, moving on to the final mob of this update, we have the Phantom, and the Phantom will spawn at nighttime in I believe ocean, or not, sorry, hill, like extreme hill biomes when you haven't slept for a few days in Minecraft. They will spawn and they will hunt you down, and they're pretty aggressive, honestly. I'm going to show you him at nighttime because he's going to burn in daylight, I guess. Slash time set night. God, I just don't like the new command system, I'm sorry. But yeah, these guys will spawn at nighttime in extreme hill biomes when you haven't slept for a while, and they will come hunt you down, and they're pretty aggressive and crazy. And they of course will drop the Phantom membrane when they die. So that's basically how you get that, and you can repair with your elytra and craft potions and stuff with that. So it's pretty cool, honestly. But yeah, those are all the mobs in this update. And there's one final feature I have to show you, and then we're done. So I know this is a very long video, and my voice is like dead from talking, honestly. But this is finally the conduit, the ocean conduit, I think it's called, or just the conduit maybe. Yeah, just the conduit. So oh, I also want to say you can actually I'm gonna grab these for a second. You can actually catch fish in buckets and plant them into the water. So if we actually like spawn this here. First, wait, okay, let's go over here. It'll spawn in the actual fish in the bucket. So you can catch your fish in buckets just by using a normal vanilla Minecraft bucket, and you can catch your fish in them, and you can bring them into your aquarium or whatever, and you can just kind of carry them around with you, which is really, really cool. And it'll keep, if it's like a tropical fish and you want a specific type that you captured, it will keep that type, so it won't lose the type that you kept. So let's say you capture this guy in a bucket and then you want to replant him back in your aquarium, it'll keep this exact same pattern and color and shape. So it's really, really cool like that. It's really nifty actually. So yeah, there's also the turtle eggs I'm going to show you. Whoops, I just skipped so many features, honestly. But yeah, this is the turtle egg over here. Turtles will lay these when they are breeding and stuff, and you can actually like have multiple in the same block space, which is really, really cool. And it's also how you get the scute by these little guys growing up. And I meant to say, if you step on these or jump on them, they will actually crack, so don't do that. Don't do that, please. I hate when that happens. And zombies will actually go out of their way to try to step on these, so you kind of want to defend these things when they come into your world. But yeah. Oh my god, my voice is actually dying. I need to finish this quickly. So anyway, the final thing is the conduit, and the conduit is made using 8 nautilus shells, which can be found by fishing or in buried treasure ships or shipwrecks and buried treasure chests. And there's also the heart of the sea, which you need. So if you basically make these two into a crafting table, so if we go over here, you can put this in the middle, and then the 8 nautilus shells around it like this. It'll give you the conduit, and the conduit is placed underwater, and you need prismarine for it to actually work. So if we place this one down over here, it won't do anything. But the more prismarine you place around this thing, the more powerful it will be. And basically what this does is it allows you to mine faster underwater, it allows you to breathe for longer underwater, and it allows you to see better underwater and move faster. So it's definitely a thing you want to have. That's what the conduit power effect does. It gives you a bunch of really cool effects for underwater living, basically. So it's definitely worth having. And the more prismarine you have, the better, because the more stronger the range will be on it and the more powerful effects. So if you give it more prismarine like this, it will be a longer range. So you could be like way over there, but you have to be in the water for it to actually take effect. So if I go to the water here, as you can see, it'll go down and it'll actually run out. But if I'm in the water, it'll be very, very effective. And it also works if it's raining. So yeah, that is the conduit, and it is very, very cool, and I love it so much. And you can tell it's actually being powered because the little particle effects will be coming from the prismarine onto the conduit itself, and it'll also like light up and have like cool particle effects around it. So yeah, that's basically what is in Minecraft 1.13. I'm so out of breath right now, I'm not even kidding. I've done all the snapshots of this, all the content snapshots I have on a playlist on my channel, so if you want to go watch those step by step, you can do that too, for a more in-depth look at each of the features. But yeah, this is basically like a quick summary. Well, quick, quick in inverted commas, honestly. But yeah, this is basically what everything in 1.13, Minecraft 1.13, the aquatic updates, and yeah, it's actually being released today as of the day I'm recording this, Wednesday, the 18th of July. So yeah, be on the lookout on your Minecraft launchers because it'll be ready and available to go though. After this day, I'm stuttering on all my words. I'm so sorry. I'm so stuttery right now because I've just been talking so fast this whole video, trying to get everything covered. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick, well, again, quick video of Minecraft 1.13, the aquatic update. If you did enjoy, make sure to go slap the like button and subscribe, of course, if you are new. Really does help me out a lot and lets me know that you like this type of content and you want to see more in the future. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna go take a nap or something because my voice is dead and I'm stuttering so much and I need to lie down. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.